Welcome to the deep dive. We've got a really fascinating stack of sources today.
You really do.
And our mission really is to cut through all the noise and figure out how the world of high-end commerce, deep cultural tradition, and extreme physical environments are all colliding right now.
It's a truly global survey. We're jumping from the symbolic calendar of the Far East all the way to these isolated snow-covered peaks in the Swiss Alps.
Yeah.
And the goal is to show you how status is being redefined. It's less about, conspicuous consumption,
Right.
and much more about the curated experience, specifically how we choose to spend or even manipulate our time.
That's the core mission, to extract the key trends. How are luxury houses leveraging ancient calendars, and why is the ultimate status symbol now involving extreme isolation and, maybe surprisingly, a deliberate challenge to your own perception?
Well, we have to start with time itself. We have to start with the calendar, because it really dictates the rhythm of the entire year for so many key global markets. Unlike our standard Western calendar, the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year, is guided by the moon cycle. And this ancient cycle dictates which of the 12 zodiac signs governs the year. And that sign is, traditionally believed to shape the mood, the character, and even the commercial environment of the months ahead.
And 2026 marks the much-anticipated return of a sign that embodies exactly what high luxury so often promises, the year of the horse.
The horse is just a profoundly powerful symbol. It represents energy, vitality, speed, and that most elusive modern commodity, freedom.
It's a natural fit.
A perfect fit for luxury brands, which are really built on selling liberation from the mundane.
And it seems like the brands are diving in head first. The sources show a clear split between those who integrate the symbol, subtly, and those who make it the absolute centerpiece of their marketing.
Exactly. Take Burberry. They're celebrating the year of the horse with a very visible, very festive campaign.
Right.
Their collection heavily features these bold, auspicious red tones, and they're carefully integrated with the traditional Burberry check.
So the impact is immediate.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
You can already see these brightly decorated shop windows and displays across major cities in Asia. It signals prosperity, celebration. It's a very direct, confident kind of cultural integration.
Then you have the brands that connect the horse not just to speed, but to that deeper cultural rhythm of time. Longines, for instance, chose a much more subtle approach.
They did. With their master collection, Year of the Horse, they focused on the astronomical connection, playing with moon cycles and the rhythm of time itself.
Which elevates the watch.
It does. It moves it beyond just a simple commemorative piece.
Right.
But what truly drives the desirability is the incredible scarcity.
Scarcity is the word. This collection is limited to only 2026 pieces worldwide.
And that number isn't arbitrary. It's literally the calendar year.
That's a clever move.
It's a perfect fusion. It takes the cultural relevance, the power of the zodiac sign, and merges it with manufactured scarcity. The item becomes a time capsule.
You're not just buying a watch.
Exactly. You are buying a piece of 2026 itself. And that's a powerful justification for a very high price tag.
And of course, there are brands for whom the horse isn't just a campaign or a limited edition. It's their entire identity. I'm talking about Hermès.
It's their heritage. Hermès was founded in Paris way, way back in 1837 as a specialized saddlery.
For European nobility, right.
For the elite, yes. Supplying them with the finest horse gear. So that history means the equestrian motif, the subtle nod to saddles and reins.
Yeah.
It's just central to the brand's DNA. For them, it's not leveraging a symbol, it's celebrating their origins.
But the luxury calendar isn't only about the zodiac, it's also about artistic tradition. And the sources highlight a major anniversary this year.
The 10th edition of Dior's Lady Art tradition.
Tied to the release of a special edition of the classic Lady Dior bag.
Yes, and this is where ancient cultural power meets modern art status. It's a critical bridge to our later themes of perception. For this anniversary, Dior invited 10 artists from around the world to reinterpret the bag.
Creating 10 completely unique designs.
Utterly unique. And this takes the accessory and just transforms it into a curated, high art collectible.
And the concepts behind the artist's work are so diverse. Mark Quinn from the UK, for example, he focused on eyes, sight, and perception.
So the bag itself becomes an object that forces you to examine how you see the world.
And how the world sees you, yeah.
Then there's Ines Angeval, the French painter, who centered her design on modern femininity and strength, using these incredibly striking, powerful colors.
It's like commentary wrapped in high fashion.
It is. It suggests that true luxury requires this internal fortitude, a defined sense of self.
Then you have the boundary pushers.
Like Ali Amarash from the Celtic region, who introduced surrealist motifs. It's luxury saying, we don't just follow trends, we embrace the strange, the imaginative.
But if we're looking for a connection to our next segment, the most telling artist might be the Korean minimalist Leofin.
Ah, yes. Leofin's reinterpretation deliberately reduced the bag to its absolute core elements.
Form, space, and silence.
Form, space, and silence.
That's a fascinating choice. In a world of, highly ornamented luxury, they chose absence.
Exactly, and it speaks directly to the rise of what people call quiet luxury or stealth wealth. The status is not in the visible logo, not in the noise of the design.
But in the sophisticated understanding of form.
And purity. It signals that you are above needing loud ornamentation. And that pursuit of silence and purity, that absence of noise, is a perfect conceptual bridge to our next major trend, extreme isolation.
That's a great connection point. Okay, so we've tracked the symbol of speed and vitality, the horse through commerce and art. Now, let's pivot entirely.
From symbolic time to a very physical space.
A space defined by extreme altitude and exclusivity. We're moving to the Swiss Alps and Europe's first high Alpine luxury mountain hotel, the Cabane Toten.
We're talking about a luxury offering built entirely on isolation. The setting is key. 3,000 meters above sea level.
Wow.
That height immediately limits access. It separates the experience from anything at ground level.
And that restricted access is deliberately baked into the proposition, right? The sources are clear. You can only get there by gondola, ski, or snowmobile.
No pulling up in your limousine here.
Exactly. It filters the clientele by necessity, ensuring this genuine exclusivity.
And the luxury experience is redefined by hyper-personalization. It centers on the private chalet, the Shishalate, which accommodates a small number of guests.
And it includes a whole service program.
A completely immersive one. A private chef, a personal service team that is constantly available but, discreet.
The personalization even extends to the food. The cuisine is tailored for guests beforehand, using ingredients strictly sourced from the region.
Which is a fantastic juxtaposition, isn't it?
Yeah.
The absolute peak of global high-end service, but grounded by local ingredients from the valley below.
And the activities all leverage that untouched environment.
Of course. Guests get first track skiing before the lifts even open to the public. They get private night ski tours. They aren't just selling a comfortable bed.
They're selling unshared access.
Unadulterated, unshared access to the mountains.
But I have to push back a little on the premise here, based on the sources. The appeal is described as hut romance, this rugged, authentic, isolated experience. But doesn't the sheer level of customized luxury kind of negate the hut element? It sounds more like an exclusive, controlled laboratory of comfort.
That's a really sharp distinction, and it goes right to the heart of what's being sold. The status is derived not from enduring the environment, but from controlling the experience within that environment.
I see.
The hotel promises the look of rugged isolation without any of the actual discomfort. It's curated danger, carefully packaged.
And the ultimate detail in the sources just confirms this for me. Upon request, a mobile sauna is available right there on the glacier.
That is the perfect summary of this entire trend. It's absolute tailored comfort. A steaming, restorative sauna placed in the most rugged, inaccessible environment possible. You get the bragging rights of high alpine isolation.
While maintaining every possible element of tailored service.
The luxury is being able to experience rugged nature entirely on your own terms. It's buying back control time in an exclusive space.
So we've tracked the speed of the horse and the isolated speed of accessing the peaks fast enough to get those first tracks. Now let's look at something dedicated entirely to reversing that concept.
To reversing speed itself.
Let's talk about the art of deceleration.
We pivot once more, coming down to St. Moritz, to look at a piece of public art that uses interactivity to fundamentally challenge the viewer's perception of time and motion.
The installation is Karsten Heller's Pink Mirror Carousel, right outside the Kulm Hotel.
That's the one.
And it sounds like a fun fair ride, a classic lighthearted thing. But Heller, he's known for turning playful objects into something like scientific experiment.
And he introduced a crucial twist. It's designed to be deliberately, extremely decelerated.
And when we say decelerated, we mean it. The sources are so specific. A full rotation of the carousel takes precisely 2 minutes.
If you've ever been on a carousel, you know they spin fast enough to make you a little dizzy, to give you that brief sensation of speed.
Yeah, of course.
Slowing it down to 2 minutes for one rotation. It fundamentally changes the entire physical and conceptual experience.
It transitions from a ride into a deliberate act of engagement.
And the visual element is what forces that engagement. The carousel has these large pink mirrors which capture the surrounding Alpine landscape, the snow, the peaks, the architecture.
And it all merges together.
It all blurs and merges with the slow, creeping movement of the visitors.
Holler's intent here is critical, isn't it? He's not just an artist.
No, he's a former natural scientist. He explicitly links his art with experiment. He uses this familiar, almost comforting motif, the carousel, to challenge our standard perception of time, movement, and space.
It becomes a test, an optical and conceptual test for the viewer.
And the environment itself plays a role, too. Our sources mentioned that when snow was actually falling while they were watching the piece, it just amplified that feeling.
Time seemed to pass even slower.
Exactly. It connected the movement of the art directly to the slow, natural pace of the environment around it. It forces you to reset your internal clock.
In a world defined by the speed of the horse and the demand for constant motion, this installation is just absolute resistance.
The pink mirrors, the glacial speed, it forces the visitor to actively engage with their environment rather than just passively taking a quick photo and moving on.
So let's bring these three seemingly disparate worlds together, because the connections are surprisingly strong. We started with an ancient symbol of speed and vitality, the horse-driving global luxury marketing.
Through heritage and scarcity.
Then we moved to the pinnacle of isolated speed and curated luxury, the first-track skiing, the fast travel to the Kebentotten.
And we finish with an artwork dedicated entirely to slowing us down.
The pink mirror carousel.
And the unifying thread across all of these sources is the conscious manipulation of time and perception, and the willingness of the ultra-high-end market to pay a real premium for that control.
Brands use the lunar calendar to define a powerful segment of cultural time.
Luxury resorts sell these bespoke, isolated blocks of existence time away from the clock.
And Hiller's art forces us to reset our internal clocks, challenging our ingrained default setting for speed. Whether it's a watch limited by the year or a chalet accessible only by snowmobile, luxury is ultimately selling controlled access to time itself.
Absolutely. The scarcity is either in the physical object, like the limited Longines run, or the physical space, that 3,000-meter altitude. But the deepest value proposition is the ability to acquire or control a unique segment of existence.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a provocative thought, something for you to mull over this week. If luxury brands are aggressively selling freedom, symbolized by the horse, and exclusivity is defined by access to speed and isolation, like at the Kebentotten, what is the genuine value of slowing down, as Holler suggests?
It's a great question. Are we more willing to buy a minute of manufactured stillness in an art installation than to consciously create one in our daily lives?
The decision to speed up or slow down is always available to you.
So how will you choose to challenge the perception of your own time and space this week?
That's a powerful note to end on. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery through luxury, lunar cycles, and extreme altitude. Until the next deep dive, keep learning.